let's go back here. So this one is not I don't know if this one will be well, actually it definitely wouldn't be a popular one, but it's his feature verse on a song called Flight School. GLC, part of Kanye's crew.
Yeah.
Or an old part of his crew. GLC came out with an album in, I want to say it was 2009 or 10. And Kanye had 2 features on there. His first feature, which was called Big Screen, that was the first song after his whole like auto-tune stuff. That was the first song that I heard him do without auto-tune. After like the 808.
Like he actually went back to rapping.
Right. And the first lines he had in it were like, it was like, baby girl, you're dangerous, so dangerous that it's only right. And then the next line was, I'm back in your life, Return of the Jedi. And obviously he's talking to a girl, but I felt like he was talking to the game when he said that. Like, I'm back now, like I'm rapping. And then the next joint was Flight School, which is also on GLC's album. So this one, now this, I'll admit, this is not a verse I remember, just because when I listen to
even if you don't remember, but if you remember how it impacted you, if you read the lyrics, it's fine.
Yeah. So I got I got my Superman power, my Superman cape. These are last hours, but Superman late. The clock is ticking. Damn, can you wait? Man, will he come back to save the day? Once again, I'm listening to it and it sounds like he's referring to like the game, like the rap game. Fly across the earth, put things in reverse. I wish this life was a movie I could just rehearse. Certain things I can't doctor, and you say I'm the worst. I ain't have enough patience, but I needed a nurse. And then he just starts like saying like, Kanye things. That'll come to the bed late. See if my head ache, then get my head straight, then give me head great. Every time I popped up like the VCR, I took your breath away. That we performed CPR with all the cars, the clothes, the lights, the boats. I guess I was just trying to sow my raw oats in the penthouse position with penthouse bitches. See, I pimped my crib, so I must exhibit. Shit, these last years been a haze like Isaac, so I close my eyes tighter than Asian eyes get. Realize I got the same wings that angels fly with Louis Vuitton feathers. Now that's some fly shit.
So the last 4 or 6 is fire. I could care less about some of the top of the verse.
The beginning part, I just like the fact that he
the
was
cleverness
again.
Yeah.
And like you said, it was really the last from the penthouse position. From that part, it's literally that part that makes this one of my favorite verses. Just because I love that part, because he's obviously reflecting. It was after his mom passed, like these last years been a haze like Isaac, so I close my eyes tight in the age. Like, and then to realize I got the same wings that angels fly with, that part just had me like, God damn. That's
he you could tell he left Earth at a moment to like rap that verse for sure.
Yes. So that's I would say is number 4.
Is that number 4?
I might switch that with Gorgeous. I'm gonna put that at 5.
So we had 6 by accident, and I think so. That's your
that'll be my honorable mention. That'll be my honorable mention, and then Gorgeous will be 5. Yeah, that's my.
So I guess Never Let Me Down will be my honorable mention, and now it's Can't Tell Me Nothing, which is 5.
See, so let me just say this real quick. I tried to get different with this list because I'll be honest, it's hard for me to pick a 5. Yeah, so like I'm a agree, even though I know we're trying to.
No. You can piggyback off these verses because Kanye is more your man. Like you really enjoy his music. So
can't Tell Me Nothing. That was probably the second verse. That gotta be top 3.
I think that's the verse I have. Let that man get past. He don't even got to get gas. That's the second. Verse. Yeah. What I like about it seemed like he was still in tune with like himself. Like he wasn't like swaying with necessarily the public yet. Like of like caring about their opinion. That's kind of what I got from this song, from this verse, and it's the shorter verse. It's probably one of the shorter verses out of all 3 of them. But it lets me know that there's a way of you can move in a way that you're not compromising your soul. And I feel like that verse, at least at this point, I didn't feel like he ever had to do that, and this verse kind of proved that to me. When he wrote, "Let that man get past. He don't even stop to get gas. If he can move through the roomies, he can drive off of fumes. Cause how he move in a room full of no's, how he stay faithful in a room full of
Full of
hoes.
hoes.
Must be the pharaohs he in tune with his soul. So when he buried in a tomb full of gold, treasure what's your pleasure. Life is depending how you dress her. So if the devil wear Prada, Adam Eve wear nada. I'm in between, but way more fresher, with way less effort. Because when you try hard, that's when you die hard. Your homies looking like, why God? When they reminisce over you, my God. It's really the energy that he had in all those three verses, but like the words in the beginning to me is like it's important because I think a lot of people in music or anything when they get popular and great at something, it's like they forget the significant other they might have had, and it's like I think that's that's the time when you feel to hold on tighter. It's because they were there for you for the whole journey. It's like you're not going to find nothing better than probably what you was just dealing with just because you got famous.
Right. So
I think that's why I enjoy that verse.
I think the second verse I just get because of the first four. Like, let up the suicide doors. This is my life, homie. You decide yours. I know that Jesus died for us, but I couldn't tell you who decide wars. And
that all three verses are amazing. Like, this is his best.
Like ridiculous.
This is like his best complete song for sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and many people would say "Can't Tell Me Nothing" is his best song. It's up there. I can't pick a best song, but it's one of those that can be considered. I would agree. So that was your fourth, you said?
Yeah, this is back in the time when you had to have a street single. This kind of wasn't street. This was like the closest thing to it, and this was street. Right. Fire. Like the song that's not going for radio, but it might hit radio.
Well, that you got to remember that was a song that helped trap. And we're not gonna sit here and act like Kanye created trap or made trap big. I would probably say that's T.I. This was a song though that helped the trap sound extend worldwide because that was when DJ Toomp, who was producing for T.I., was huge. He actually did an interview a couple days ago.
Yeah, I saw pieces of that.
Oh yeah. And he spoke about it.
And Jeezy ad-libs helped too with that for sure. Of course.
Well, it was supposed to be it was a remix to a Jeezy song, and Jeezy, I guess he wasn't feeling it. In my head, I'm like, man, Jeezy, you missed one with this because that was And then Kanye just kept the backing like ad libs on. But yeah, man, that one right there. That's one of them ones. Number 4 for me, I would have to go. Another one people might not know, and I said the first lines earlier. Live in a movie. So the second verse I like a lot, but the first verse, it's on his first mixtape, which is called Freshman Adjustment. So he had 3 of them.
You see, I didn't even know this part about Kanye. Look at that.
Oh, you never heard? Yeah. So he had. I don't know if they're official or not, but he had mixtapes called the Freshman Adjustment. And it was like basically his most known unreleased songs are all on there. So like Homecoming from Graduation, the original version with John Legend is on there, but it's only called Home.
Like the reference version before Chris Martin and them got on it, kind of.
Right, but it's like an old because he also had like his demo tape leaked, and that's the song that was on Freshman Adjustment with John Legend that was on it. So that song was like super old. But this song,
that's the thing, right? It's like, what if Kanye just ran out of his demo tape? Like maybe that's what went wrong. It's like he didn't have no more of the demo essence feel of like when he first got in the game. No, I'm serious. Because something really like you could try to blame it because of the death of his mom. It's like no, like I think he lost inspiration in a certain vein and he tried something else. And although it might have been successful commercially, I don't think it resonated with people the way it would. The way those other albums did years ago,
So I think that
I think Dark Twisted Fantasy. I don't care how many people like Yeezus. Like he has like 4 good songs, but it's not like the whole album as a cohesive isn't there. I don't care like how people feel. Not to his standard. Not to his standard. It might have been a good album, but it's not to a Kanye standard of where he was batting 3 for 3.
Yeah, with Yeezus is a weird album for me because I do like the album. I think that I give him credit because he was clearly 808s, I think with 808s, because of the place he was in, where he was like depressed and sad, I don't think he had to leave where he was too much. Like the sound was obviously different, but I think that it felt right to him.
Right.
Jesus was probably his most challenging album that he's ever done, because he went completely left. Like, I don't know what, like in my head, I'm like, I don't know what was inspiring you. I don't know what you were looking at.
I don't think he had anything inspiring him. I think he was just like, I just want to do whatever I want because I don't want to have a message this time because I can't talk about my real life because I'm now married to Kim. I really think that's what happened. You got to think every album he had a phase of something going on, like especially deeper into his career. It's like that. I don't think he had anything that he could vocalize besides wanting to have clothes out into the world.
Well, he was mad at the fashion industry. That was his.
Yeah, but you made my ears mad too when you put that shit out. Like, don't got.
Yo, man, the kids are gonna kill you, man. They love it. Umari, Drown Millie. Me and him both say, yo, we like that album a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's one of his. He put out his top Kanye albums, I think last year or 2 years ago, because he's a Kanye fan. Take a guess at what he had number one.
He might have had Yeezus or maybe
you know what it is, you know.
No,
you know.
I don't. Yeah, to me, his second album was my favorite.
Yeah, but his was 808s and Heartbreak.
Oh,
and in my head that made sense because he's younger. So he wasn't here, like College Dropout was like 6 or something, but that makes sense. He was younger when that came out.
Yeah. So 808 is like his holy Kanye album.
Right.
When I was a teenager for the first album, so it's like it's different for me where I could listen to all of them,
right,
and see which one is truly it.
Right. For me, I would probably say number one. I ain't gonna lie, I flip flop, but I'll say.
Let's go back to the verses. I'm sorry. I feel like I cut you off. Deep dives everywhere with this good topic.
Yeah, so the verse is living a movie, and it goes. They call me Edward Scissorhands because I'm trying to cut. She claims she got cramps. I'm gonna get you to suck, and you're not gonna use your teeth. You hear? You're gonna find out what lies beneath right here. The preacher's wife don't give head. Get a divorce, man. The kids keep calling you the headless horseman, like Sleepy Hollow. See, she swallow, suck like old girl that got booed at Apollo.
13, you like the little raunchy Kanye lyrics, I noticed.
Yeah. 13, Ghost, use my hollow man for Friday 13th. You be Ghost, backdraft from the toast. Niggas who drop names is oh so shameless. Get a chain that's stainless. They almost famous. My bling got him calling me Lord of the Rings. The Shining make it hard for her to do the right thing. But I don't say a word. I'll never tell until you get a Kanye beat. You'll never sell. He was just being silly, and right. I love how he was like saying a whole bunch of like movie names in there that I had never heard of before. Like I'd never heard of Edward Scissorhands. I don't know Lies Beneath. Obviously everybody knows The Preacher's Wife. And what was another one? Almost Famous. Like there was so many like.
So you like the writing and how he placed it in there within the scheme of it all.
I thought it was very creative when I looked it up and realized what he was doing and how he put it together. I thought that was really, really dope. And this is one of those ones where this is before he had money, so I highly doubt he had writers. You know what I'm saying? Like this is when it was like, this is what makes me say I wish you would write for yourself more, because things like this is what people love to hear from you. But that's me. That's my opinion. And who am I? You know what I mean? But
so my number 4, I think I've probably taken a more serious approach with some of the lyrics I've chosen. Diamond from Sierra Leone. Close your eyes and imagine, feel the magic Vegas on acid, seen through Evie Saint Laurent glasses. And I realized that I've arrived because it takes more than a magazine to kill my vibe does. He writes his own rhymes, so sort of, I think him. That means I forgot better shit you ever thought of. Damn, is he really that caught up? I asked if you're talking about classic. Do my name get brought up? And this is his second album, so he already felt like his first one was an instant classic.
Oh yeah.
For him to be talking like this, which it was.
Of course.
Is he really that caught up? I actually be talking about classic. Did my name get brought up? I remember I couldn't afford a Ford Escort or even a 4-track recorder, so it's only right that I let the top drop on the drop top Porsche. It's for yourself that's important. If a stripper named Portia and you get tips from many men, then you're fat from her nickname is Minivan. Excuse me, that's just a Henny man. I spoke, I drink, I'm supposed to stop. I can't because diamonds are forever. But like what I love is like just those first 4 lines is like, who thinks of something like that is like amazing to me. And if somebody wrote that for him, bravo, because those 4 bars of close your eyes and imagine feeling the magic Vegas on acid seen through EV
glasses.
Yeah, he killed that.
No, that was crazy. I think.
Although on the remix, Jay-Z batted him out of here.
Yeah, Jay-Z smoked that verse. Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Let me handle my business.
Damn.
Well, see, that was the time he was smoking everything because that was the time he did that. That was around the time he did Dear Summer. That was around the time that he did Go Crazy.
Oh, yeah, he was trying to retire, but he couldn't help himself. He just kept on rapping.
Yeah. Bro, when I first heard Go Crazy and he started like, more than a hustler, I'm the definition of it. Master Chef, Lord of the Kitchen Cupboard. I'm like, he not retired. He coming back. He ain't no hero.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
I think he dropped like 5 or 6 albums after he said he was going to retire. It's like he couldn't help himself.
He's still not retired. I feel like I think he might be retired now because that 444 was great.
I think he knows to just say I'm on hiatus. It's better just to say that. Just say you want to take a break,
or just not say anything because he hasn't said nothing, and he could drop an album tomorrow, or he could never drop another one again, and we could look back at Jay's career and be happy. But anyway, not to get off topic again. But yeah, no, that's a great. When you said you were gonna get serious, I thought you was gonna do the second verse.
No. What I'm saying is, I feel like I'm picking songs that were more serious than like his funny, goofy ones that everyone enjoys. Because to me, I love Kanye for like his intentions and what he was trying to do in music than what he actually maybe accomplished or didn't accomplish.
Okay.
So like, I just really like those first 4 bars. I felt like all the other ones were like so super serious, but I think I just chose that one out of all of them because to me, those first 4 bars is like some of the best beginning of a song you could ever hear. Like, in my opinion, like.
I mean, I agree with you. I agree, man. So should I go to number 3 now?
Yeah.
Got you. So here I said one of these lines earlier too, but this is crack music. So this is getting into that more serious mode. So this is verse 2. I love verse 1, but this is verse 2. So you got from the place where the father's gone, the mother's is hardly home, and the mighty gones lock us up in the arty home. How the Mexicans say we just trying to party homes. They want to pack us all in a box like styrofoam. Who gave Saddam anthrax? George Bush got the answers. Back in the hood, it's a different type of chemical. Arm and Hammer, baking soda, raise their own quota. Right when our soldiers ran for the stove, cause dreams of being Hova went from being the broke man to being a dope man to being the president. Look, there's hope, man. This the inspiration for the moles and the folks, man. Shorty come and see his mama straight overdosing. And this is the soundtrack. This is the type of music that you make when you round that. Crack music, nigga. It's that real black music.
I feel like you remember the beat in your head and you started trying to rap it. Yeah, I'm trying to read the lyrics and it's like you remember the beat and you started doing like the parts of like
of course.
The inflection of the voice. That's why you're perfect for this because like you really are like a super fan. You see, I'm just a rememberer of where I was and like the little songs that impacted me from him. Where you're more like, no, like this is my guy. No matter how messed up he's done things, like.
Well, I mean, we
not politically. I'm talking about musically, like where you're like, oh my god, this is not good, but you're still my guy because of what you've done.
Here's the thing: I liked a lot of the albums that you spoke about. I think though, I'll say the last 2 have been.
The gospel one was the closest one to the first 3 albums, to his first 3 of his career.
Really?
because he has samples though, so it made me at least appreciate that. Maybe not the lyrics, but at least he wasn't rapping something stupid. Whereas like I can't even take you serious.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And the first song, Ultralight Beam, off that album, what's it called, Pablo? That's my favorite. That's a great song. I just wish it wasn't in that album. Like, you put that with his, you put that song with his gospel album. You say that's an amazing album off of that song alone.
Interesting. I think that
that album wasn't that good. I don't care what nobody says.
I liked. I would say this. Life of Pablo is probably not a great album, but I like the songs on it. I just think it was a collection of songs. It wasn't.
I don't think he sequenced it right. Maybe that's my issue with it.
Yes, it wasn't sequenced very well. It was just like a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and each Ebro from Hot 97 actually did a good job of explaining this album. That album was like a whole bunch of Kanye, all the Kanye albums before it put together. Because you could take, Freestyle 4, for example. And that one sounds like it could go on Yeezus. A song like Feedback, that's a song that could go on Graduation because it has like that synthesizer stadium feel to it. Songs like Famous could have gone on Graduation. You know what I'm saying? So like you could put certain joints, take it from that and throw it on an older album. But as you've said, none of those songs, except for like Real Friends and probably No More Parties in LA and 30 Hours. Those are 3 songs that they sound like Kanye. But other than that, you could throw those on the other albums and it would be the worst songs on the album.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, this verse, man, I think once again, this is not like lyrically like he's mixing up a whole bunch of words. This is a verse that kind of reminds me of like the Tupac in him because it's not super complicated. But he's talking about what's going on. And there's things he's putting me onto. I've never heard of Laura Madigan. I never heard of her before. Like this, I don't know. I never knew what an Audi home was, which is, I think it's like something like a foster home or something in like the Midwest. And I don't know if it's a chain, but there's like a bunch of them out that way. We don't have Audi homes here, to my knowledge.
Right.
Yeah. So it just put me on to different stuff, So. That's why I like this verse.
No, it's a good verse for sure. So what's number 2 for you?
Number 2. Oh man. It's tough, man. It's tough. What were we talking about earlier? Where we said because I don't have that song here, but we were talking about a song and I said it was number 2, and you said, oh man, you picked one of the
that was my honorable mention, Never Let Me Down. I think you said was your 2. So
So that is one of my that might be my favorite verse, but for this purposes, I have different songs here. So I just wanted to be a little bit different. Yeah. So for number 2, I would go with Last Call, the second verse. And I'm not rapping the whole thing because this verse is like 40.
Oh no, he went into that and started talking about the whole story of how he got signed to the Rock. He is with the Rock. They asked him. I remember that song.
This song is crazy. When I first heard it, I was blown away. But I'll say a few lines and then maybe skip around. Now is Kanye the most overlooked? Yes, sir. Now is Kanye the most overbooked? Yes, sir. Though the fans want a feeling of a Tribe Called Quest, but all they got left is this guy called West. That'll take Freeway, throw him on tracks with Most Def, call him Quali or Quayle. I put him on songs with Jay-Z. I'm the Gap like Banana Republic and Old Navy, and ooh, it come out sweeter than Old Sadie. When I got older, that line, I'm the Gap like Banana Republic and Old Navy, I didn't realize he wasn't
all underneath the same branch.
Well, no, I knew that. That's what I realized. I didn't know what he meant was I'm the gap between like he said, Quali and Jay-Z. I'm the gap between that puts them together. Mm-hmm. He's the guy that puts him with Wayne, T.I., and Jay-Z on the same song. And as a superstar, you know what I'm saying? It's me, Pusha T, Saha the Prince, and Jay-Z. Like, he's that guy and he does that. Oh, well, he used to do it anyway. He used to do that all the time. That was his thing. And that's what he was saying back then. That he, and when the song he's talking about is the Get By remix, it was like, let's see, it was Mos Def, it was Ye, it was Jay, it was a gang of people on. Busta Rhymes was on it. Like, it was just a random like pish posh of people. It was just weird to put all those people together. But I love that song. Like, it's a great song. So and Kanye, he knew that he was gonna do that. So this is one of those songs where I love it when it first came out, and as time went on,
that he spoke about what he manifested. Yeah,
exactly. He manifested. And then I'm gonna just say the last line real quick.
Yeah.
Killer y'all niggas on that lyrical shit. Mayonnaise color Benz, I push miracle whips. I heard that. I was about to say I dropped my phone, but it was probably a
CD player.
Yeah, CD player. I almost dropped my damn CD player. I was like, oh my God, that was so crazy. Wow, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that one, will always be one of my top Ye verses.
So, an honorable mention for me of a song, which I'll just mention real quickly, is Two Words. Because of the beat. The whole song, like the beat, definitely.
2 words, Shot Town, Southside, worldwide, cause I rep that till
Yeah, he bodied that.
Yeah. One neck, 2 chain, 1 waist, 2 gas, my bad.
Right, no. So my number 2 is Homecoming, actually, as far as verses go.
That's actually my favorite Kanye West song.
I love when people are able to illustrate a way of talking about the place they call home, and he did that perfectly, I think, in his first verse. Or it might be the second verse, I'm not sure which one. I met this girl when I was 3 years old, and what I loved most, she had so much soul. She said, "Excuse me, little homie. I know you don't know me, but my name is Wendy, and I like to blow trees. But my name is Wendy." So blow trees, I think it's a double meaning, like blow trees in the wintertime because it's so cold, but also smoking weed, like it's a big thing, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I like to blow trees, and from that point, I never blow her off. Ants come from out of town. I like to show her off. They like to act tough. She likes to tore them off. Tore them off. And making them straighten up their hat because she know they saw. So in Chicago, what people probably don't know is if you cock your hat to the left and to the right, that's like gang culture out there. So instead of like bandanas, it's like you cock it to the right, to the left, it can mean a different set of like where the gangs are in Chicago.
Are you good?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
So when he's talking about the hats, he's basically referring to like Chicago gang culture right there, where it's like if you cock it to the right or to the left, basically, it's like a no-go in Chicago. So he tells you like when you in my town, kind of like keep your hat straight, kind of. Okay, so where am I? You know, they saw it. And when I grew up, she showed me how to go downtown in the nighttime. Her face lit up, so astounding. I told her in my heart is where she'll always be. She never messed with entertainers because they always leave. She said, it felt like they walked and drove on me. Knew I was gang affiliate, got on TV and told on me. I guess that's why last winter she got so cold on me. She said, "Yay, keep making that platinum and gold for me." And then it goes into the hook of Homecoming. I just think that's a beautiful way of illustrating Chicago and like a light that it probably isn't always the brightest, but it was like bright for him in that moment. So we're into, I guess our first verse, number ones now. So I'm gonna let you go do that.
So my number one, I'm gonna go with "Touch the Sky," because this was one of the first verses that like it made me think about the impact that hip hop has on culture. Because it starts off with back when they thought pink polos would hurt the rock before Cam got the shit to pop. Oh my bad, I was trying not to.
I was bad boy street team. I couldn't work the locks.
Now let's go. Taking back to the plan. Me and my mama hopped in that U-Haul van. Any pessimists, I ain't talk to them. Plus, I ain't had no phone in my apartment. Let's take them back to the club. At least about an hour, I stand online. I just wanted to dance. I went to Jacob an hour after I got my advance. I just wanted to shine. Jay favorite line, dog in due time. Now he look at me like, damn, dog, you what I am. A hip-hop legend. I think I died in an accident because this must be heaven. once again, these are ones that I go back to because of the fact that the way he's talking about himself here, he was talking way early and it just came to fruition. Like everything
Yeah,
he said there, it came to fruition. Now I'm sure that Jay would probably want, old Kanye back, but the way that this came to fruition here was just like these are things that made me think back like, man, you can really do anything that you set your mind to, but you gotta believe. And he clearly believed in his second album that he was a hip hop legend, and
right.
carried himself like that. But the whole beginning part where he talks about Cam and the polos and the pink, that also kind of spoke to the issue of like being able to do things.
Be free
You
out
know,
of that hip hop box or that tough guy box that he didn't want to be in because he wasn't that. So no, I totally
right?
get it.
Yeah, but yeah, man, that's the number one I got.
For me, my number one because it hits me is Roses. It reminds me of my grandfather a little
Oh
bit.
man, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, makes sense.
So I know it's past visiting hours, but can I please give her these flowers? The doctor don't want to take procedures. He claimed her heart can't take the anesthesia. I'll send her body into a seizure. That little thing by the hospital bed is stop beeping. Hey chick, I'm at a loss for words. What do you say at this time? Remember when I was 9?
Wow.
Tell her everything gonna be fine, but I'll be lying. Her family crying. They want her to live, and she trying. I'm arguing like, what kind of doctor can we fly in? You know, the best medicine go to the people that's paid. And Major Johnson got a cure for AIDS, and all the
And all
broke
broke
motherfuckers passed
passed
away. You
away.
telling me if my grandma's in the
In the
NBA
NBA
right
right
now,
now,
she'd be okay? But since she was a secretary, worked for the church for 35 years, things supposed to stop right here. My grandfather trying to pull it together. He's strong. That's
strong.
where I get my confidence from. I asked the nurse, did you do the research? She asked me, can you sign some t-shirts? Bitch, is you smoking reefer? Don't you see that we hurt? But still, I smile when roses come to see me, and I can't wait for the sunny day. Can't wait for the clouds to break. They outside of the emergency room. You can feel my heart beat, beat, beat. If she gonna pull through, we gonna find out soon. But right now she's
She's
asleep,
asleep,
sleep,
sleep,
sleep.
sleep.
My mama said they say she could pass away any day. Hey chick, what these doctors know anyway? Let me see the X-rays. I ain't no expert. I'm just hurt. Cousin Kim took off for work. Plus my aunt Shirley, Aunt Beverly, Aunt Clay, and Aunt Jean. So many aunties. We could have an auntie team. Feel like A. Marie is just one thing. When they said that she made it, you see the eyes gleam. I think we got a all-time high. To get there, we run, we fly, we drive. Because with my family, we know where home is. And so instead of sending flowers, where the roses. I just thought that was beautifully written.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't
That
have a
that was
flow,
great.
but like that joint, like I remember how it sounds when I read it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and the little ad libs of like the little beats and the different things he did with the song. And to me, that was just amazing. And Chick, for those that don't know, that maybe never heard the song, he's not talking about Chick as in girl. Like that was the reference that was like the grandma's nickname was named Chick.
Hmm.
So he would be like, "Hey Chick."
Yeah. He
So
used
that
to
was
he
kind of
used to
that.
a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Double. That was a time where he was very good at double meanings.
Well, because I think he had these experiences for a long time, right? So it's
Right.
easier to like write your whole life out. Because I think as soon as he finished the first album, he instantly went back into the line for the second one because
Yeah.
he had these thoughts planned out for so long, these first 3 albums, and then after that, when it had to go off of like creating without thought, I don't think he mastered that. I don't think that's where he started to fall a little off to me.
Well, he also planned out.
His
You
first
know.
4 albums, really, because he's supposed to have a good ass job, but that never
Right.
came out.
That I think is what messed him up because he planned out so far ahead, and I think instead of just living, he's not somebody that lives in the moment. He always talks about how he's like a futurist, whatever that means. So I think it kind of stunted his growth as an artist. But anyway.
And for that song, the songwriters was Bill Withers, Kanye, Anthony Von Williams, and that's all I got for those those supposed to be producers? Because that sounds like all him, to be honest with you.
Well, no, Bill Withers is "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone." That's Bill Withers.
Well, that's probably because of the sample.
That was a sample. That was a sample. Yeah, I actually have that song, like the original. So yeah, that's the sample there. And then the other guys, because I did look up because just like you, when I first heard that song, I had to find out who the writers were. When I found out that he doesn't write or whatever, but.
I think that's actually a verse of all him though, for the most part, because like it's too much of a personal story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's definitely him. That's like almost 100. That's probably 100% him.
Yeah, I think the other person might have helped him co-produce the beat, but like because there's only 3 of them on the writing sheet, and I think one of them is the producer of the song, probably, or the other 2 people might have been producers of the other song for all I know. But
that's what I think it is. I think he was a producer or like a pianist on like the original Bill Withers song. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I'm remembering.
Okay. But yeah, that's an amazing song to me, and I think that verse was just a beautiful storytelling, probably his best storytelling.
That was probably the only song I've ever heard on the radio with the curses. Because when Miss Jones was doing the Hot 97 morning show, she talked about how much she loved the album, and she spoke about that song. She was like, "I'm probably gonna get in trouble, but I'm just gonna play Roses. I'm gonna play one song and play Roses." And they played it like this is the morning time. They played it like with all the
Yeah, I think she might have got suspended or maybe fired because like she wasn't on too much after that. I don't think.
Well, no, she got fired. That was for the remember she made the Tsunami song? That's what she got fired for. She was wilding.
No.
Yeah, she was bugging out. But yeah. So
she was Charlemagne before Charlemagne, I guess. Just like going in.
Man, well, her and Star, I think that was the morning show.
Yeah, Star.
And then Star got fired, and then he got fired. He got fired from everywhere, but he got fired, and then it became her morning show. But yeah, anyway, I digress. So yeah, I heard that song on the radio, and listening to it on the radio, that's what made me, because at the time I loved Kanye, but I was finding out all types of new music, so I wasn't like focused on him. So I didn't even really know he had an album coming out, and it came out, and then she played that song, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going back to Kanye. And then I bought the album, and that album changed my life, man. Late Registration was the one.
Yeah, that's probably, out of all of them, that's probably my favorite album of his, to be honest.
I'd probably say so too. I think it's the one that connects with me the most.
So what are your top 5, I guess? Let's just do the order real quick before we get on it.
The first 5?
Yeah, like...
First 5.
Which order, though?
Oh, 5 is 808s. 4... See, this is where it gets tough. 808s is easy to put at 5. Man. All right, my personal or like objectively speaking?
I guess personal, because that probably will lead more into your personality of why you even choose a 5 where people can understand you better.
All right, so I'm gonna go 808s 5. I'm gonna go Dark Fantasy 4. The top 3 are close together, but I'm gonna go College Dropout 3, Graduation 2, Late Registration 1. Okay. And I only do it that way because Graduation was the album where that was where the Nerds won. Yeah. 50 Cent. A million records sold. Like, yeah. And I remember being in school.
I bought 2 copies of Kanye.
I mean, my mom was buying it, so I didn't have a choice. She had to buy it. So I only got 1.
Nah, I sold my candy money just to get that.
See, that's what you was doing. You had the candy hustle. You was doing your thing. But I remember around that time, I couldn't find that album anywhere. It sold out every place that you would find it the next day. Yeah. And I remember I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna be part of the first week sales thing. So I just gave up. And we went to Circuit City for something. I don't remember, like my mom needed something.
Right.
And she's at the checkout, and I'm looking behind the counter, and you see all the 50 Cent Graduation albums right there.
Oh yeah, they weren't because people I think were trying to steal it. That they knew that was a big week. They weren't even playing those games, so you had to point it out. Like, yeah, I'll get 1 or 2 of those.
Listen, man, she was checking out, She was about to give the money, and I just looked up. I was like, I tapped her, was like, that's the one. It's right there. It's that one right there. I need that's the one. And when I brought that joint home, man, and popped that in, man, it just like the satisfaction of having to find an album and then getting to listen to it. I think I just had a different experience with that. And then Late Registration is that's my favorite album. So
yeah. So my 5 is, I don't even know if I have 5. I know I have 4 for sure. So let's see if I could do 5. But Dark Twisted Fantasy is probably 4.
Yo.
So my top 5 is definitely, I don't know if I have top 5, but I think I definitely got a top 4. It's Dark Twisted Fantasy. Then probably College Dropout, Graduation, Late Registration. And if I had, like, those are my top 4, and like number 1 is Late Registration. But if I had to pick a 5th one, I don't know, man, because everything else is like, I have to re-listen, but I'm thinking it might have to be either a Gossip album or like maybe an album that he executive produced, kind of like. I don't even think it's like an actual album from him I can put in the top 5, but if I had to.
Yo, that's crazy that you put the gospel album that high, bro. I understand your reasoning, but that to me was some of Kanye's worst work. It might be his worst work.
I think musically it was fine as far as the beats. Now his words might not be there, his lyrics may not be there, but like musically compared, like some of the other beats that he's chosen after those songs, I could care less for. And what's the one that's about I'm high, I'm bipolar? What was that album name? The 7 songs he did. That's
Yay.
Like maybe the last 2 songs I really liked. Other than that, I don't know if I have a complete body of work where I could say I think I could listen to it all.
Okay. I think the thing with Jesus is King is that it comes off it came off wildly inconsistent, A, and B, it was very inauthentic.
I'm sure it is, but like a lot of his albums have not been that. You know what I'm saying? From what he portrayed himself as.
Well, the thing is with all his albums before that, I do feel like, although I don't think he had the muse like you talk about, I do think he was giving us where he was at the time. Like Life of Pablo is that album. It makes sense how the things that he was doing at that time make sense for Life of Pablo because he was all over the place, like as a person. So that album being all over the place makes sense. With Yeezus, he was really angry. Now, to us, we can look at it and say, you were mad at the fashion industry, that's first world problems. But I mean, he was angry. So that's why the album sounds like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus is King to me. It's like he went to the church because this is where we start getting political. But I'll say it real quick. We're not going to get into it too much into it. This is you going, because you know you lost Black people. What is the easiest way to get back in Black people's graces?
The church.
Everybody knows that. So when I remember the first time we saw him, like he was DJing like some Chicago house thing, and you see him like hitting the little house notes, but it's like he's doing the gospel thing. Like it was a lot going on, but he was mixing gospel with house. He was doing like gospel house. I ain't gonna lie, it did sound kind of fire, but it was like.
I think he's finding his sound in that now, and when he do, he'll have a 4-album run in the gospel spit. Yeah,
you think so?
He's gonna go back to his samples and stuff like that. He knows that. All right, let me go back to my classics, but just have the gospel lyrics over the top of it, which I'm cool with at this point. You know what I mean? Like I don't, especially if you're not writing your own stuff. It's like I don't, you know. Kanye's not going to influence me to do something I don't want to do. Like I'm a grown man at this point. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same, exactly. But I honestly, I think that's high hopes. I don't think we're getting that because the most recent song he put out with Travis Scott. There's 2 songs. He put out a song with Travis Scott called "Wash Us in the Blood," which Dr. Dre mixed. I guess.
Listen, the issue is stay away from those that you're not compatible with. Like you're not compatible with Travis Scott, you're not compatible with Kid Cudi as much as you think you are.
Well, you believe that. I don't believe that. But
His music palette, if that's not how you kind of came in the game, it's kind of hard to say that's who you're compatible with.
oh, I see what you. I
That's
see what
not
you're
his.
saying.
That's not his blueprint DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Oh,
it's
if
like,
see, if you want to talk about like who he,
because to me
who he's,
that would he's more compatible with people that actually rap, a Pusha T, a Big
mm,
Sean. So it's like, why not help them out and be with them more? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I think what the thing with Kanye is, I
and now
think that he
Sean,
does.
now he owes Big Sean money, so I don't think that's happening
Yeah, that's
anytime
never
soon.
happening. Big Sean about to leave good music, but
Yeah.
I think that, and he should. I love Sean, and I think that good music has not done him a
No,
service.
yeah, he worked himself to be a superstar. It has not been the other way around.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I would say this: Kanye is a guy who doesn't like being comfortable, which is part of the reason why, as a person, like I know we're not getting into the person, but that's part of the reason why, as a person, he is the way he is because he likes being uncomfortable. And when it comes to his music, I think that there was a point where he got so comfortable, and then not an excuse, but his mom passing, I think that made his entire life uncomfortable. And instead of stopping working, he just kept making music and fell into that uncomfortable space. When that gets into the music, your next album is 808s and Heartbreak, and this guy named Kid Cudi that we've never heard of inspires that. Then you do Yeezus. Some people say that he stole Travis Scott's sound. Travis Scott says otherwise. I don't know what's real. All I know is that Travis Scott and Yeezus are synonymous, right? Now, I personally like Yeezus, but his lyrics on it were not the best, and you could tell he wasn't comfortable. So I think that like him and Chance was supposed to make an album together. That would be exactly what we were looking for. If him and Chance made an album together, that would be the album that we're looking for because Chance is baby Kanye. And let's be clear, no disrespect to Chance, he is nowhere near Kanye at all. On
Yeah,
any
he
sense.
proved he had a chance, and then that first album he did, whatever he did with that album, like ruined those chances of how people viewed him.
Fam, I don't care what you think about Yeezus, Jesus is King, none of that. None of them albums is as bad as that first Chance. That album is terrible.
But
That
his
album is
mixtapes are so amazing that you thought, all right,
and that's the crazy part.
yeah. But
The mixtapes were crazy. But anyway,
that's a
sorry.
different combo for a different
Yeah,
day,
different
man.
combo, different day. But Chance is that's somebody that made him too comfortable. So
Yeah,
although I think they're cool still, like I think they hang out and all that kind of stuff. The thing with Chance is that making music with him takes him back to a time where and you know the other thing, I think he looks at it like I can't remake my old classics because I can never make it that good.
yeah.
Which
He
he
was
might be
definitely in his
right.
zone, which I'm okay with now. But it's more of
Right.
which your muses. You got to choose a different muse, though. I don't care. I really think that's my issue. Is like you're choosing people to be inspired by because you're not becoming a copycat. I don't even think he's doing new like original things. You get me? It's like, oh, let me take this from you because you're great, but I'm popular.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
it's a lot of people that are creative that say that it's like, no, you're copying. You're not catching inspiration. You're kind of copying what they did and what they've been
Exactly.
doing.
And it's a sad sight to see, but and we're talking musically. It's a sad sight to see, but the one thing I will say about Kanye is that because of who he inspired, the game. I don't know how you feel about rap right now. I love rap because, like I said earlier,
I think
anybody
it's in
can.
a great space because you get to
Yeah,
choose whoever you want now. It's not like I don't have to go to an album place and start fishing. Hopefully, if I buy this
right,
album, it's a good album. It's like, nope, I can tell by Spotify. If I
right.
like it, cool. If not, I am cutting you off. Don't you worry about it. You'll never hear about me again listening to your music.
And you'll never and you can even still be a music fan and buy albums if you want to. Like me, if I really like when it comes to Jay, I bought 444. Like I
Mm.
could stream it, but I bought it. I bought every Kendrick album. I bought every Cole album. Like I have the CD versions of them. Just because I'm a fan of those people. But like you just said, if you want to check the climate of it, even if you want to like buy it, but you want to only hear the first 5 songs, if I listen to the first 5 songs off KOD, KOD is like, whoa, this is I'm gonna just buy the rest of the album now because I could take this.
Yeah, I might need to have you on later on in the year to like maybe do another one of these deep dives because this was fun to like break my natural mold of talking about
Yeah,
different books and stuff and different writers. So before I close out, I guess I ask you a quick question because I know you're a reader. What's the one book that has a major impact on your life, fiction, and then one nonfiction?
Fiction and nonfiction. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fiction guy. Um, Trying to think, because there's books, because I don't read that. Like I used to read fiction when I was younger. Like my last like 5-6 years of reading has been like self-help books.
Okay,
So
so give me a self-help book then. No worries.
okay, well I'll give you a self-help book, and then I guess a non. I'll give you I'll give you 3 books if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So a self-help book that really, well, the first one that I ever read was The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and it's about how phenomenons start, and to make those start, you have change agents that make things start. So, for example, in that it spoke about like the change in violence in New York City, and one of the things he speaks about is changing the way that New York City looked. So, like washing off all the subways, and although, like, I mean, I'm a fan of graffiti, changing the look and making the subway not look like graffiti changed people from going to those cars and committing crimes. That was his logic. Now, most recently, he said that most of that stuff he doesn't even believe anymore. But it was interesting to think about the change agents that make things blow. So that was an amazing book to me. So there's The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. Then you have Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. I just started it, so I haven't like got too much into it, but I've heard so much about what relating to yourself as a
Self-love, self-value, self-worth.
And relating that to your self-value and your self-worth, and thinking about how it's been taken away, well, not taken away, but how it's been changed when you
minimize, stripped down. Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm interested to get more into that book. And then an autobiography that really caught me was Asada, which is about Asada Shakur. Not related to Tupac. Everybody thought she was, but she's not. But and for those who don't know, great book. She was accused of shooting and killing a New Jersey state trooper, and she was shot, I think like in the chest or the leg or something like that. I can't remember. I haven't read the book in a while. And they took her to the hospital. They had to do surgery on her, but there was men with guns standing outside looking at her, watching her while she had to do surgery. She was handcuffed to the bed. They brought her to jail. They brought her to multiple jails. And then the lawyer who was working on her case, he cracked the case. And I think like 2 days later, he was found dead. So then after that, they basically jammed her up and kept her in jail, but she fled and escaped to Cuba.
Okay, I've heard of her. I don't think I ever watched it, or read it, I should say, or listened to it, but I heard of it.
Yeah, and of course, there's an audio book for it too. So, but that's an amazing story. So those are probably, well, I mean, 2 books that I actually have fully read all the way through. Those 2 books kind of changed my way of thinking about reading, because I never was a reader before that. But then there was those 2 books, man. Them joints caught me. And of course, I'm ashamed to say the only book that I did read all the way through from you a minute ago was
The Dreamer.
Dreamer, The Boy Who Caught 22.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you buying my other books though, but hopefully when you do, you let the public know how you feel, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta get off the Uber slave boat, so I actually be home, so I can not be driving all day. That's what I'm about to do right now. Is go back in. I gotta pay my car payment, and I'm using my car to pay for my car. Kids, don't do Uber unless you have a job. Just putting that out there.
Well, with that said, I'm going to close out. Usually I do a quote of the week and lyrics of the week, but I think we bombarded them with much lyrics and much quotables by the musician, the genius of Kanye West. So I just want to say thank you for being a great guest on the show.
Appreciate it, man. Can I give him one?
Yeah.
It's probably the number one Kanye West line in my head. No, I can let these dream killers kill my self-esteem or use my arrogance as a steam to power my dreams. And as much as that may have let him off the deep end, I think that if you have the right support system,
that's a great quote to live by. Absolutely.
That is what leads you to the promised land. So yeah, but appreciate it, brother. I can't wait to be on again. Maybe one of these days we could actually have the whole crew on here, but we gotta
absolutely.
We would have to prep.
Yeah. I gotta have them watch this one so they know how it's kind of going to be moving.
Yeah, exactly. Because
yeah,
I mean, G5 will be fine.
Right, he's not the one I'm worried about. But
shout out to I gotta introduce you to my other guy he was an original part of the podcast, but
he moved back. I know he was in Ohio. He moved back to New York.
No, he didn't move back, but he's called in, so we've had him on. But he has an interesting perspective on music and stuff, so I think he would be good to have on too. But one day, we'll see.
Definitely, we'll talk behind the scenes. But I just want to say thank you again for everyone listening or watching this on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you guys. This is Americana Quill, writer. Take care, guys.
Peace.